Yo,
Yo, what up, Rudy? Give me one second. I'm gonna close all these tabs I have so stream is more clear.
uh,
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Just relaxing. It was just my lady and my son's at work, so I just get to chill for a little bit while he's at school.
Cool.
Yeah.
How old is your kid?
He's 3. He's almost 4, coming up in a couple of months in May.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I think I should be good now. Um, all right, cool.
All right. All right. How's it going?
Uh,
Montenegro Media is your YouTube channel, right?
yeah, that's right. My YouTube channel is called MontenegroMedia. It deals with it has my personal work. I'm a filmmaker. I consider myself I'm a filmmaker, but I'm a Chicano filmmaker. So
Okay.
YouTube channel has like I do motion graphics and editing, and but I also have this specific vlog series called Trucha that I think that's where you came across my work, my
Yeah.
vlogs.
Yeah. 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 Uh, uh, I see that you were on your Facebook that you were. I don't know if you still are a part of these, or you were. If these are what you were really a part of, the Chicano culture, founder of Santa Barbara, the creative director and Chicano Internationalist film. You know all these creative director of United People for Latinos film and TV, former creative director at MOG, and social media strategist and creator of Being Latino. So, can you tell me a little bit about these?
Yeah. So well, the first thing that you brought up was Chicano culture de Santa Barbara.
Yes.
I'm from Santa Barbara, and I founded this page about like 2 years ago because Santa Barbara is a very special place. You know, it's famous for a lot of things. It's known as the American Riviera. It's a land of the Chumash. It's
Okay.
geographically like very unique in the whole world. It's famous for all these things, but one thing particularly, it's really rich in history is the Chicano culture. You
Yeah.
know, for example, how like Mecha and Chicano studies came up and like ethnic studies came up is well specifically Chicano studies is uh, El Plan de Santa Barbara. It was created by Chicano activist scholars back in like in the early 70s, I believe, or it was like late 60s, early 70s, and it was a bunch of badass gente, women,
Yeah.
men, all folks of different backgrounds and ethnicities, and yeah, that's how Chicano studies came up. The first mecha came up here in Santa Barbara at UCSB. Um, the Concilio de la Raza happened here. Council de la Raza happened here. Started in the 70s. We have Casa de la Raza. It's a
What
cultural hub.
what got you going into these participating and wanting to start these activities, the YouTube channel and etc. What got you into it?
So for me as an artist, as a filmmaker, and like a content creator and all that, I just have this sense of, uh, for me, I feel like I could sense my people's like sense of need to be proud. Because for me as a Chicano, I didn't become Chicano woke, you know,
Yeah.
until I was like 19,
Yeah.
and so I'm also a part of a local movement called Ethnic Studies Now. You know, it's a statewide movement and all that, but we have a
Okay.
local chapter here. So like the reason why I brought that up is when I think about how lost and misinformed and knew so little about my identity.
Yeah.
I think about those memories in my upbringing because I'm first generation. My parents were from Mexico,
Okay.
and so I think about all the other Chicanos, Chicanas, Latinos, Latinas, whatever you want to identify,
Yeah.
folks who don't know their sense of identity, their sense of history.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I want to make those people feel proud. I want to give them a sense of belonging, a sense of knowing, and that's what really motivates me. I just want to make people feel proud.
Yeah. Okay. I seen some of your paintings of yourself. Those were pretty interesting. I like. When did you start painting?
Well, I'm not a painter.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
I'm a my arts. Well,
Yeah.
to answer the painting question is they were done by Derek Harrison. He's a really well respected oil painter.
Yeah.
He realism painting. He did several paintings of me. He's one of El Campesino. Me as a campesino, you know, the farm worker in that sense.
Okay.
One as me as a conquistador. One other one as me as a gothic person, and they just have this alla prima paint
Yeah.
sessions where I come up with a model, this kind of profile, and they paint me. So I just have fun, you know, being creative and doing different eras because yeah, I love history, man. But my
Okay.
dude, and also with arts. So I'm a filmmaker, so I create
Yeah.
documentaries in that sense of a filmmaker artist, and
Yeah.
also I do photography, and I'm also a poet.
Okay.
And also, you know, that also falls me under as a writer, and I do
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
graphic. I also do some graphic design but I do it more in the sense of content
Yeah.
creation because I
Okay.
like, you know, I like making memes and uh, making stuff to post on content creation. That's what it's at.
Okay. Okay. Now, how is it for you being a Chicano, like growing up in LA and stuff, and a lot of the how the Chicano community is? How were you brought up as being a Chicano?
So my story as a Chicano is my parents are from Michoacan and Jalisco and like Guanajuato, that tri-state area.
Okay.
The youngest of four. I was born in Whittier, a very rich Chicano city, one of the
Okay.
most Chicano cities in California. You should really check it out.
Okay.
Um, then I grew up a little bit as a little kid in like San Bernardino, West Covina, then moved to Santa Barbara in like '96
Okay.
when Selena died. You remember that? Then I grew up in Santa Barbara, and then you know gentrification, as in like real estate got expensive, so we moved to Ventura,
Oh.
and I went there for high school for about 4 years, and you know experienced the Chicano culture of Ventura, and saw how that's different from Santa Barbara, and then
Yeah.
also uh, well to express your well to answer your question really straightforward. Um, for me as a Chicano, like I said, I'm a first generation Chicano. I benefit from white passing. You know, I
Mhm.
know I'm güerito,
Yeah.
so I have that colorism aspect to me. I'm aware
Okay.
of my privilege. And also Santa Barbara is a place where there's a lot of we're really privileged here. You know, there is a struggle, as in like the racism, the segregation,
Yeah.
um, how Santa Barbara is like a really expensive city, and it has a lot of like liberal bullshit, like save the polar bears, but fuck the Mexican.
Damn.
That type of
Yeah.
racism is here in Santa Barbara, but compared to like you know like East LA, San
Yeah.
Jose, other Stockton, and other parts I've been around, you know, like
Yeah.
Santa Barbara, our schools are really good.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but you know, I'm privileged in that sense, man.
Okay.
And my Chicano experience, I just um, I don't know, like that's just my experience
Yeah.
as a white boy Chicano.
Okay. What do you like? What would you like to see change in our Chicano community, and because it seems like we're not really a relevant community, whether if we're under the so-called Hispanic, Latino. It seems like, you know, maybe now we may be getting some notice because of the wall, but overall, within like the past decade of me growing up in school and all that, to me being almost 27, you know, it seemed like our people hasn't been relevant.
Mm, okay. Um, well, to respond to that, I think the whole idea of our people, our sense of movement, our Chicano culture, in the sense that it's not relevant.
Yeah.
It depends where you're coming from. As in a media, like in a
I
like
guess
a,
maybe more like, yeah, instead of than California, like more known. Like you can't be like, people don't know what Chicano culture is. Like
Mhm.
they don't know our struggle. Like it seems like, you know, our history was not relevant to be, you know, pushed a little bit. You know.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah.
It's okay. I feel like on a mainstream level, a lot of
Yeah.
people still don't know what Chicano means. I
Yeah.
still have to inform and educate people what Chicano is, but
Yeah.
luckily it's not hard because our culture is
Mm.
really rich. For
Yeah.
me as a Chicano, I put it this way, man. If you grew up in the Southwest, if you grew up in Chicago, Minnesota, if you grew
Yeah.
up in barrios, across the country, that's Chicano culture. You
Yeah.
know, like burritos, that's Chicano culture. If you grew up with
Yeah. Yeah.
lowlife, that's Chicano culture. If you're
Yeah.
fucking, even if you're white, black, Asian, you know, any other ethnicity,
Yeah.
you were influenced, exposed to Chicano culture. Maybe there's an exception if you grew up in a really white setting, but
Yeah.
if you grew up with Mexicans around you, like you know what's up with Chicano culture. So it's that type of thing where it's all over our daily lives, and people don't know how to identify it. Um, so that's the thing. I think that's one thing.
Yeah.
I think I need to change, or I guess it needs to be uh
Promoted
needs
more.
to go on. Yeah, it's like we need to keep continue informing
Yeah.
people because we're there, man. We're in the
Yeah.
books. We're in universities. It's not like, oh, what is Chicano? It's like this like random obscure thing. It's like, nah,
Yeah.
motherfucker. We've been around this Chicano identity. It's been
Yeah.
around since the fucking 60s.
Yeah.
You know, some folks dated more back, but
Yeah. Since the Zoot
it
Suiters and like the 20s and all the Pachucos.
yeah, exactly. So like, but with the whole Chicano
The
movement,
movement. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so that's where it kicked it off. And one thing for folks to realize too is that our culture is still growing and still evolving. So
Yeah.
like, if you go on the case study of like Chicano with CH, how the like literally text how Chicano is spelled and how that has evolved.
Yeah. I seen that.
You see that? Like at first it was Chicano with a Chicano, and then
Yeah.
it evolved to Chicano as in it ends with an A/O. Then next thing you know it's an at symbol. Then next thing you know it's an X
Yeah.
or instead of the CH. And now the most recent is Chicano. It starts with an X and it ends with an X, and it pays respect with the new generation of Chicanos who are queer conscious and who are um, aware of queer theory and
Yeah.
so on.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
I
You
believe in that stuff.
said it starts with the X and ends with the X.
Yeah,
Wow. I never. That's pretty interesting to me.
yeah. That's the newest one where like as our evolution,
Wow.
there's a movement, but
That's new to me right there. That's something. Anybody leave your comments if you heard that one yet. That's pretty interesting. I know they were doing the latex with the X. I've been seeing that. The Latino latex with the X. I've seen that. I've seen
so
that one.
mhm.
Yeah, you seen that one?
Yeah, I seen that one. Like the Latino that ends with the X, I'm cool with that too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen that.
Like identity politics for me is a balance. So Uh, and identity politics, in the sense of like art, helps because it makes it like a sense of connection, but also identity politics can be very
Yeah.
problematic.
Are you like strict
Where's my
on?
laptop? Yeah, hold on. Give me a second. Let me.
No problem.
All right, cool. I'm connected.
Are you like strict on the labels that people call you or you call yourself? Like, do you just accept all the labels, or do you like specifically like to be called Mexican or Chicano?
Um, I prefer Chicano, but like how we were talking earlier, like not a lot of people know Chicano. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm open to all identities.
yeah,
Well, in a sense of like, of course, I would not identify as a racist or a
yeah,
homophobe or
yeah,
anti-black or anything like that. But as in identities that have like fluid overlapping, like yeah, Chicano, Latino. I don't like the word Hispanic, but
yeah,
if it's my audience that only recognize the word Hispanic, I'll approach it in that sense.
mm,
But also at the same time, like educating people on the importance
yeah,
of what Chicano is and how Hispanic uh, pushes away our indigenous roots.
yeah, 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 yeah,
They're Eurocentric.
yeah, yeah. Now, what would you like to see change in our Chicano community now, like in the sense of culture and community? What would you just like to just see something relevant, just some thoughts on our community change, like and put
Um, I, for me personally, I would, well, to change for good, I would want uh, a raza to stop being so anti-black, uh, uh, homophobic. Um, what else? A raza are killing each other.
mm,
Brown on brown crime,
yeah,
um, drugs. Uh, like all these drugs are destroying our families and our
mm-hmm,
people. Um, Specifically, the Chicanos, the older generations, they need to realize that they have to put in work and help the younger generations too. It's their duty,
yeah,
and get off their pedestal, as in like, oh, like get off your limelight. Like you had your time. It's
mm,
time to bring up these new Chicano leaders.
yeah,
Chicano leaders. Like there's some. Have you heard of Well, That's what I would want to see change.
yeah.
Um, but I'll talk to you about this topic next time. The whole Chicanos versus the Chicanos with the X, the whole age disparity.
Okay,
But it's still in the works. But anyways, that's a different talk.
okay. Now, I got about 10 minutes. So, what? How long now? You don't put too much videos on your YouTube channels, just to let people know. Look up. You could look at my subscriptions. I'm subscribed to him, MontenegroMedia. So for you who watch me and watching this, go check out. He got some interesting videos. But tell me about that a little bit. What made you start that up? Your YouTube channel.
Start my YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, um, like I mentioned, I'm a filmmaker, so
Yeah.
YouTube is like my outlet. Like, but also, well, for me as just an artist, me
Mhm.
producing content, these are like my main, and I'll also make sure to give you the links to all my pages and everything I work on.
Yeah.
But uh, I don't know, man. I'm just an artist, so I have to express myself.
Yeah. These are ways for you to express yourself. Like, they're not, like, you don't see it maybe as a job too much, but it's something for you to do. Like, maybe it's kind of like a hobby, but more than that in a way.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like thank you for bringing it down like that.
Yeah.
It's more like a duty because and also to clarify, like no one pays me
Yeah.
this, this Chicano culture. To me, this is my form of activism. It's
Yeah.
I'm also an activist in Santa Barbara. My Brian Correno, he got killed by the police this past Sunday. I do organizing with Bolder, a local activist group in Santa Barbara. But for me, with my artist work,
Yeah.
it's like my duty, man. It's
Yeah.
like I hope someone out there listens to these vlogs. I hope someone out there appreciates my Mexican Americans
Yeah.
typography video. Like I hope.
Name your Facebook right now so people could look you up.
All right,
That
cool.
Facebook.
So if you want to be more connected with me, if you want to become my friend or follow me on Facebook, I'm a lot more active on Facebook. Look me up under Michael Montenegro. I'm out in Santa Barbara.
Okay.
And also, if you want to follow any of my other works, like of my pages, check out Chicano Culture de Santa Barbara, Chicano Culture de Santa Barbara, if you want me to say it more white. And I have another page called Chicano Secret Service. They're a
Okay.
comedy troupe from the 90s. I manage that page. If you want to check out my, I contribute a lot as a content creator to Poder Santa Barbara, the local activist collective here in Santa Barbara. We're grassroots. No one pays us. We're all Chicanos, Chicanas. That one's good to
Yeah.
find out what we're fighting against,
Yeah.
like gentrification, police brutality, stuff like that.
Okay.
Immigration, ICE raids.
Yeah.
You could check me out on Twitter, MontenegroMedia.
Okay.
I like to tweet small stuff. I'm more active on Twitter than Instagram. My Instagram is MontenegroMedia as well. I don't really use a cell phone, so that's why I have it there on Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't use Snapchat either. Tumblr, I have a Tumblr, but I'm not really active in that, really. But that's
Yeah.
a lot of awesome Chicana artists out there.
Okay.
There's a lot of Chicana artists on Tumblr. That's where it's at.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, look up Tumblr then if you got that. I'll look into that. See, yeah, but if anybody out there in Santa Barbara, connect with Michael, cause I see he's out there. I got him on Facebook. Definitely link up with him, cause I see him participating out there in some of these protests. I know you went out there, and I've seen like some of the stuff that you're talking about. That pictures of what you're into and what you do. So people check out Michael because he seems like he's doing something pretty interesting as being a Chicano and trying to push the Chicano culture and community in a productive, positive way. And that's what we need. We need more of that intelligence being pushed by our people, and especially for us to, hold the Chicano indigenous culture down, because we're indigenous, we're not immigrants.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, so, if you would like to say one more thing out there to these people watching, any last thoughts to the Chicanos watching out there?
Yeah. This goes a shout out to all the Chicano artists out there, especially the younger Chicano artists or around our age or whatever.
Yeah.
Is to continue producing art. I'm a strong believer in the sense of existence is resistance. And this existence is to let's make our culture exist. Don't let this dominant culture swallow our culture and call it Hispanic.
Yeah.
Honor, when you produce this art, think about our ancestors, our indigenous ancestors, and also, think about the duality too. We have Moorish, Spanish, Middle Eastern roots too. The history of migration.
Yeah.
Honor those ancestors too.
Yeah.
Share that complexity of our identity.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Yeah, keep on producing. Who gives a fuck what people think?
Yeah.
As long as you can share your personal story of what your experience, no one can take that away.
Yeah.
Just
Exactly.
keep it true to yourself. Don't try to be someone who you're not. Wow, dude, the greatest stories is the realest ones. So
Yeah.
keep on producing. Fight the system and si se puede.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Michael, and hit him up, his YouTube channel, MontenegroMedia. And, you know, it was a short one, but I definitely just wanted to get this talk out just so, you know, people who watch me could at least be informed of who you are. So, you know, next time we'll probably talk a little longer, get some topics down more, and, you know, continue our talk. So, have a good day. And thanks for the conversation. I'll see you later. Hit you up on Facebook, brother.
Alright, cuídense. Si se puede.
All right. Bye.
Peace.